Today, our champagne house in focus, is Duval-Leroy. The wine in question is the Brut Rosé Prestige Non-Vintage. Something interesting about this house is that we have a very strong line of women at the top. Naturally, we have Carole Duval-Leroy, who is the current president of the house. She took over the running of the house in 1991 after the untimely passing of her young husband. And really, since that time, over that past 20 years, she's taken the house to another level. Carole Duval-Leroy is a very strong woman and an excellent ambassador for the house. She travels the world, she sings the praises of their wines, she's very active in the winemaking process, in overseeing the selection of fruit and the production within the vineyards. She has an incredible focus on not only sustainability within the house, but also a focus on biodynamic and organic principles and practices within the vineyard and within selection of the fruits. But there's not only one woman within the top ranks of the Duval-Leroy empire, there are two. We have Carole and we have Sandrine Lorgette-Jardin, who is the chief winemaker at the House of Duval-Leroy. In 1991, when Carole took over the running of the house, she also promoted Sandrine. And she has been at the helm of the winemaking team for the past 20 years, making wines of elegance and finesse. The champagne for today is of course a rosé. They call it the Prestige Rosé. I'm not certain why. It spends about 24 months on lees, so quite a short period of time, probably to keep that effervescence and that freshness, the elegance within the rosé. It is a Saignée style of blend. It's about 66 to 70% of the Pinot Noir grape and the balance being the Chardonnay. The champagne house is located in the heart of the Côte de Blanc, in the town of Brut, and they have about 200 hectares of grape holdings around this area, quite a sizable parcel of land. The colour of the rosé is quite light. It's almost salmon in colour. It's a light golden salmon colour. Very, very, very light effervescence, very light mousse. The aromas on the champagne are red currant, wild berry, some raspberry, and some lovely patisserie notes too. The champagne foams up on the palate. Its mousse is incredibly vivacious and very effervescent, signifying that it is quite a young wine, only spending 2 years on lees in the cellar before it reaches you. It is quite round in the mouth, which is reminiscent of the shape, the way that the Pinot Noir dominance feels within the mouth. This is a very delicate style of rosé champagne. Rosé champagne can have a very broad spectrum of tastes and aromas. I would say that this is at the lighter end of the rosé spectrum, even though it is nearly 70% Pinot Noir fruit made Saignée. It's still a very delicate champagne, although it does have a little bit of weight on the palate as a result of that Pinot Noir fruit. I would partner this champagne with a savoury dish. Some rosés are excellent from the beginning of the meal all the way through to desserts. I think that this champagne is probably best partnered with a savoury pairing. Some sushi, sashimi, a light duck parfait, some foie gras, but steer away from the too heavy, sweet dessert pairings with this particular champagne. I think it's better suited to something that's a little bit drier. Wonderful champagne, beautiful expression of rosé, Duval-Leroy and Sandrine doing wonderful things for female winemakers, leading the charge really within the industry, which is wonderful to see. Let's hope that we have a few more female winemakers in the region in the not too distant future.